Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the University of St. Francis Pat Sullivan Center, where prior to today's match, we would like to take a special time out to recognize the 6 senior members of the women's volleyball program and their families. We begin with number 8, Bailey Baird, and her parents, Chris and John Baird. Bailey has been a 4-year Saint, serving as an outside hitter during that time. Unable to play this year due to injury, Bailey has appeared in 28 matches over her career. Last season, Bailey was an academic all-conference selection and earned her undergraduate degree in values-based management. She is currently working towards a master's degree in supply chain management. This is what Bailey has to say. Though my senior season didn't end the way I hoped, with a career-ending injury instead of playing one last game, I'm still so grateful for every moment and the lifelong family this program has given me. Thank you especially to my parents for always being there for me through game and injury and giving me every opportunity possible. Thank you to my sister and brother for keeping life interesting, one who passed down her love of volleyball and always giving me advice I didn't ask for, and the other teaching me patience I didn't want to learn. I love you all and wouldn't be where I am today without you. Once again, number 8, Bailey Baird. Next up, number 13, Riley Hugging, and her parents, Rick and Lori Hugging. Riley joined the program last fall after transferring from William Penn University. In 64 matches over her career, she has averaged 2.76 kills and 2.57 digs per contest. An outside hitter, she has also produced 50 service aces and 50 blocks. She enters today's match needing 5 more kills for 1,000 in her collegiate career. Riley is a values-based management major. This is what Riley has to say. I want to thank my parents for their unwavering love and support, our athletic training staff for keeping our shoulder together, and Coach and G for giving me the opportunity to not only play for St. Francis, but also to find my love for volleyball again. I also want to thank my teammates for the best season. This is such a special group of girls, and I'm so grateful that I got to play with them. Once again, number 13, Riley Huggins. Number 5, Talia Masana, and her parents, Tony and Tiffany Masana. Talia has played 72 matches over her career, seeing action as both a center and defensive specialist. In that time, she has recorded 475 assists, 21 aces, and 299 digs over 180 sets played. A nursing major, Talia is a 2-time NAIA Scholar Athlete and CCAC All-Academic Selection. Here's what Talia has to say. 4 years later, my knees hurt, my heart's full, and I still can't believe I survived 4 sprint tests. I'm so grateful for my time spent playing volleyball at St. Francis. I have made friendships and memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you to my coaches for motivating me, my teammates for being my family, and my parents for always cheering me on. You made every sprint, 6 a.m. lift, and bus ride worth it. Once again, number 5, Talia Masana. Number 6, Willow Mueller, and her parents, Tina and Bob Mueller. A product of Joliet West High School, Willow has been a Saint for each of the past 4 seasons, where the defensive specialist has accrued 20 service aces and 36 digs. An elementary education major, Willow has appeared in 55 matches all time, covering 106 sets. Last season, she was named to the conference all-academic team. This is what Willow had to say. I just want to take a moment to thank my parents for everything you've done for me. You supported me through every game, practice, and late night, and I wouldn't be here without your love and encouragement. To my number 1 newest fan, Alan, thank you for standing by my side and supporting me through all the ups and downs this season. And to the team that's become my family, I'm really going to miss you all. Once again, number 6, Willow Mueller. Number 19, Cadence Woodrich, and her parents, Will and Vanessa Woodrich. A second-team all-conference selection last fall. As a middle hitter, Cadence has amassed 351 kills and a nearly 1 block per set average over her 4-year career. During that time, she has appeared in 107 matches, covering 383 sets. Cadence is pursuing a degree in elementary education. This is what Cadence had to say. I want to thank my family for putting in the time and miles to get me where I am today, not only as a volleyball player, but as the person I've become. I will miss all of you so much, but my knees will not. Once again, number 19, Cadence Woodbridge. And number 1, Celeste Zavala. And her mom, Emily Williams, and brother Hector Zavala. A transfer from Joliet Junior College 1 year ago, Zavala has seen action in 52 matches during her 2 years stint as a Saint. A defensive specialist, she has averaged 2.13 digs per set to go along with 45 receptions and 20 service aces. Celeste is working towards a degree in nursing. This is what Celeste had to say. Thank you to my amazing teammates for all the memories, laughs, and wins. I couldn't have asked for a better family on the court. To my family, thank you for your endless love, support, and for always cheering me on. And of course, shout out to my girls, the baddies and scrubs, for keeping me grounded through it all. I'll cherish these moments forever. Once again, number 1, Celeste Zavala. Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more round of applause for our 6 seniors? Bailey Bear, Bradley Huntley, Tyler Asad, Will Wheeler, Cadence Woodbridge, and Celeste Zavala. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pat Sullivan Center at Pat Quigley Court. Host of today's Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference matchup between the visiting Crimson Wave of Calument College of St. Joseph and your St. Francis Fighting Saints. At this time, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. At this time, let's introduce tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Crimson Wave. A senior defensive specialist, number 2, Andrea Matias. A junior outside hitter, number 5, SS Keo. A junior setter, number 13, Crystal Lopez. A junior outside hitter, number 15, Berta Camino Luciero. A junior middle blocker, number 26, Aguilar Martinez. A freshman middle blocker, number 27, Regina Manzo, Korea. And the junior, number 20, Julian Davis. The waiver coached by Javier De Jesus in his second season. And now the starting lineup for your Fighting Saints. First up, a senior defensive specialist from Rockdale, Illinois, number 1, Celeste Zavala. A senior center from Beecher, Illinois, number 5, Talia Masala. A senior defensive specialist from Joliet, Illinois, number 6, Willow Mueller. A senior outside hitter from Joliet, Illinois, number 13, Riley Hunter. A freshman hitter from Joliet, Illinois, number 15, Delaney Kirsten. And a sophomore center from Oakland, Illinois, number 16, Alyssa Tesley. The Coastal Magic Saints a sophomore from Frankfurt, Illinois, number 4, Andy Simon. The Magic Saints are coached by Cliff Curry in his 24th season.
Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois, and the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis. Today, the Fighting Saints play their penultimate home volleyball match of the year, taking on Calumet College of St. Joseph, the visiting team today against the Fighting Saints. St. Francis has 2 games left in the regular season after this at Viterbo on Tuesday before wrapping things up at home on Thursday against Olivet Nazarene, but today they'll try to make it 3 consecutive wins, and they're second at home if they can finish it off. It's been a busy week for the Fighting Saints. In fact, a very busy end of the season. They had 6 days off after their loss to Indiana South Bend on October 21st, and then starting on Tuesday, they're going through a stretch in which they play their final 5 matches of the season over the course of just 10 days on the calendar. So a lot going on. They'll try to keep it rolling today because so far during that stretch, they're 2-0. Willow Mueller will get the opening serve of the match here on Senior Day for the Fighting Saints. It's off, and we are underway. First point of the game up for grabs as Talia Masana sets up Riley Hungate, and that's deflected out of bounds by the Calumet blocker, Crystal Lopez. First point to the Saints. Willow Mueller has appeared in just 11 sets this year, but on Senior Day, she gets the start. It's mostly seniors starting today. Freshman Delaney Kirstein and the sophomore Alyssa Teske are the only exceptions. Cadence Woodrich is the only senior not in the starting lineup today, not including Bailey Baird, who's missed the entire season to injury. That attack from Calumet is out of bounds. It's the second consecutive point for the Fighting Saints, that time on an attacking error from the visiting side. Mueller will get her 3rd serve in a row. Celeste Zavala sets up Riley Hungate, and Hungate drills home her 2nd kill. Number 997 in Hungate's college career, so she's on the verge of 1,000 today. And it looks pretty safe to say that she's going to get it. I don't want to jinx anything, but she's got 2 kills, just 3 points into the game, and now Willow Mueller's got one. Mueller drops in an ace. For Willow Mueller, that's the 3rd ace of the season. It is the 21st ace of her college career. Great start for the Fighting Saints, trying to make it 5 points in a row. Hit to the back line and Mueller. Masana sets for Hungate, looking for her third kill, but a dig this time for Essence Kiel. Masana for Teskey, and Alyssa Teskey's attack is too strong. Out of bounds on the first attacking error of the game for St. Francis. First point of the afternoon for Calumet St. Joe's. One serving forward will be their libero, Melina Haynes, who goes back for the first one. Andrea Matias, Essence Kiel, Crystal Lopez, Berta Camino Cuseto, Irali Aguilar Martinez, and Regina Manzone Corrido are the starters for Calumet. Service error against Melina Haynes puts the Saints back on the board. "5-1 is our score. Hungate looking for her third kill of the afternoon. She's got it. Great start for Hungate and the Fighting Saints. Calumet hasn't been able to get anything working so far. Haven't earned a point yet. The one that they do have was on a mistake from St. Francis, and they gave it right back on a service error from Melina Haynes, who's been one of their best servers this year. Haynes the first to touch it here. Cuseto gets it over. A nice play by Zavala, but couldn't get it high enough in the air. And Riley Hungate made a diving effort, but couldn't pull it in. So there's a point for Calumet. And a nice hit from Berta Camino Cuseto, who is by far their best offensive player. Averages better than 3 kills per set for a team that gets fewer than 8 per set on the season. So she's right around 40% of her team's offensive production. Riley Hungate knocks it out of bounds. Second time already today that the Fighting Saints have gone too hard over the back line on an attack. The point belongs to Calumet, and it'll be 3 serving 6 back-to-back points for the Crimson Wave. Another serve for Crystal Lopez into the net. Calumet has committed more than 200 service errors on the season. They've done that in, including this one, just 77 sets played. 2 already in this as Kiel tries to loft it over the net but hits it into the net instead. An attacking error against Calumet leads to a timeout called by Emilio De Jesus, second-year head coach of the Crimson Wave. It's 8-3 St. Francis. Fighting Saints have 3 kills so far today, all 3 of them from Riley Hungate. They've also benefited from 2 attacking errors from Calumet and 2 service errors from Calumet. So the Saints are earning a lot of what they've gotten so far, but also taking advantage of some misplays by the visiting side. Calumet comes into play today with an overall record of 2-21. They are just 1-10 in conference, or 1-14, sorry, in conference play this year. Fighting Saints are 16-12 overall. A very impressive 12-3 in the CCAC. They have won 7 of their last 8 matches going back to October 4th. And in conference play, they have won 10 of their last 11. After going 2-2 in their first 4. And Simon lets it go out of bounds on the attack from Melina Haynes. Simon, the libero for the Saints today. I don't think I read through the starters. It is Celeste Zavala, Talia Masana, Willow Mueller, and Riley Hungate, the 4 seniors, along with Kirstine and Teskey. This is Maya Broadway in now to serve. Broadway makes a nice dig. Teskey sets up Emma Rodriguez, and Rodriguez drops it right in front of Melina Haynes. Crimson Wave didn't seem entirely prepared for that one. Rodriguez takes advantage with her first kill of the afternoon. She's a freshman from Coal City. Not too far from here. Lopez sets, and there's nobody there to play the set. Aguilar Martinez was the nearest one to it, but no chance to make the play. It's 11-3. Diving play by Broadway. Chance for the kill from Eliam Morris. What a good dig from Calumet, and the attacking error on Cusetto sends the point back St. Francis's way. Good defense by Andrea Matias. The defense goes for naught after the offensive error. Big lead for the Fighting Saints as Broadway sends a short serve to the front line in Haynes. Cusetto's ball is tipped at the net. Morris, too strong. That's 3 of Calumet's 4 points on attacks from the Fighting Saints that have gone over the back line. In fact, all 4 of their points have come on attacking errors from the Saints. But 3 of those 4 have looked very similar. Berta Camino Cusetto, the junior from Spain, sends the serve away, and it's out of bounds, right along the sideline. It looked like it might go too far, and it didn't. It actually would have been inside the line if it had been just a few inches over to the left. But it was wide of the sideline. Third service error of the set committed by Calumet. Lopez's ball is deflected, out of bounds. First kill of the day for first kill of the day for Calumet. It is Nia Ramirez who gets it. Freshman from Portage, Indiana. And another service error. That's 4 of them already for the Crimson Wave, and that's a lot. But even more when you consider they've only had 5 serves. Almost every serve they've had today has gone into the net. 14-5. Good dig by Ann Simon on the attack from Carrito, but the Saints can't get it over. Double hit officially is what ends the sequence. As St. Francis hit one into the net. That net's gotten a lot of action so far today. Serve coming up for Tegan Rath. Saints have to get it over here. Free ball for the Crimson Wave. Set by Lopez. Hit by Peyton Van de Mellen, but it's blocked by the Saints and pushed over by Cadence Woodrich. Woodrich has her first kill today. One of 6 seniors honored before the match today. It is not the final home match, it's the second to last. But they did take today to celebrate the seniors rather than do it Thursday. Serve from Celeste Zavala. Bumped over to the back line, and Simon pushed by Woodrich. And hit into the net by Van de Mellen. That's a point for St. Francis. They've got a double-digit lead as the timeout is called by Calumet, their final timeout of the opening set. Good start for the Fighting Saints. Saints haven't lost a set to Calumet in 4 years. You have to go back to the fall season of 2021. The last time they lost a set to them. They've not lost a match to Calumet. In fact, you go back the last 25 years, they have not gone so far as 5 sets. They typically have taken care of business in 3, occasionally 4. And they're off to a good start today. Last year when they took on the Crimson Wave, Emilio De Jesus' first go-round with Calumet, they kept things very close. Saints did win it in straight sets, but all of them were competitive. So far, this one has not been. We've got time in front of us, of course, but what we've seen so far Calumet's made a lot of mistakes. 1 kill to 6 attacking errors. That's a minus 312 hitting percentage. And they've got 4 service errors. Saints don't have any gaudy numbers right now. Just 4 kills for them. Building this big lead, but they've watched Calumet trip up a bunch of times, and they've been happy to do it. Zavala, pass for Hungate, deflected back to Ann Simon. Hungate's tipped at the net this time, but not blocked. Vandemelen to the back line and Simon. Good rally going. Alyssa Teskey tries to finish it and does. A kill for the sophomore Teskey, who's been on a great run over the last few weeks for St. Francis. Had a triple-double last time she played here on Tuesday. Double-digit kills and assists again on Thursday at Governor State. Woodrich taps it over. And finished off by Corrido. Regina Manzone Corrido gets the kill as Simon makes a lunging effort for it, but can't keep the ball alive. 10-point game. Peyton Vandemelen gets her first serve. Teskey. Hit into the net. That was tipped by Woodrich, and so as it goes out of bounds off the Saints, it is a point for Calumet. Eight serving 17. Calumet has back-to-back points for the second time this game. See if they can make it 3 in a row for the first time. They cannot. Vandemelen sends it out of bounds. 5th error on a serve today. And Willow Mueller comes back in to serve for the Fighting Saints. She's the one who got us started. Cusetto hits it over and down. Berta Camino Cusetto has the point for Cal St. Joe's. And they are within 9. Serves away from Haynes. And a strong finish from Delaney Kirstein. Good hit just inside the line. Kirstein has a kill. It's her first today. And Alyssa Teskey takes her turn to serve. Set out of bounds. Cusetto is able to track it down. Nice job by her just to keep the play alive. Lopez sets for Cusetto, out of bounds. Saints are the first to 20 in this first set. Teskey tries to keep it rolling, but she can't. Too soft on the serve. Into the net. Makes it 20-10. Essence Keel comes in for Tegan Rath. And the serve belongs to the junior Crystal Lopez. Hungate blocked, out of bounds. Riley Hungate gets the Saints back on the board. Just 4 away from taking a 1-0 lead. St. Francis came into play today, second in the CCAC with their 12-3 record. 1 game ahead of St. Xavier in the loss column. They can make it a 1-game lead in the conference for second place with a win today. They're in good shape as a miss hit off the serve makes it 22-10. Maya Broadway trying to finish this thing off right here. 3 points away. And it's an ace for Broadway. 23 serving 10. High arching serve, diving play by Cusetto. Just pushed up into the air by Lopez. Nice job by Calumet to get it over. Strike out of bounds from Nia Ramirez. And it's set point for the Fighting Saints as they try to close this thing on a 5-0 run. They've scored 4 points in a row already. One more from Broadway. Broadway sets up Rodriguez. Diving play by Haynes to keep it alive. That's around the antenna, out of bounds on the strike from Nia Ramirez. And that'll do it for the opening set. Dominant for the Fighting Saints. 25-10 is the final score. And they take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 match. Set 2 coming up in just a few moments. Stick around. I'll take a break. Back in a few minutes with the second set. Dominant start for St. Francis today. They took the opening set 25-10. Riley Hungate led the way with 4 kills. Saints had 7 overall as a team in that first set. 3 assists for Talia Masana. 3 digs for Alyssa Teskey. Those are the team leaders. Saints had 12 digs as a team. Calumet had 8. 7 assists to 3. 3 service aces for the Saints, just 1 error. Calumet had no aces, 5 errors on their serves, so that was their problem. Berta Camino Cusetto had 2 kills, but overall Calumet had just 4, 9 attacking errors, a minus 185 hitting percentage. So some things for them to clean up as we get set for set number 2. Calumet standing on the right now in their crimson uniforms. Serve away to the Saints wearing brown on the left. It's Riley Hungate skimming the top of the net and getting it down for the first point of set number 2. 5th kill already today for Riley Hungate. Number 1,000 in her career, so she gets celebrated by her teammates. She leads the team this year with 308. Essence Kiel in response drops one inside the line. So we're tied at 1. First time we've been tied today. St. Francis scored the opening 4 points in the first set and led all the way throughout. So this is the first time that Calumet has tied the score. Now they can take their first lead of the day, but they don't. It's out of bounds. 6th serving error of the game for Calumet. 5 of them in the first set, 1 here in the second. So Riley Hungate was able to pick up her 1,000th kill on the first point to this set. And she does it on senior day, which is fun because not only are her parents in town, but everybody else is too. All the seniors are here. So that's knocked out of bounds. Sorry, that got the line, so it's 2-2 is our score. When I say that Hungate's parents are in town, I don't mean they traveled a long way to be here, just that they're at the match. All the seniors' parents are at the match today. It's a very local roster. Morris, nice dig by Hames. Rodriguez taps it over. Teskey for Kirstein, and Delady Kirstein finishes it off. In terms of players on this roster who are from Joliet, not the surrounding area, but Joliet itself, Malaya Morris, Willow Mueller, Riley Hungate, Delaney Kirstein, and Maya Broadway. So 5 players who are from the city that the university is located in. Push to the back line. Cadence Woodrich gets it in there. A diving effort comes up empty for Andrea Matias. And Cadence Woodrich has the point. She's from the faraway land of Ingleside. Alyssa Teskey is from Mokina. Emma Rodriguez, Coal City. Olivia Cosgrove, New Lenox. Talia Masana is from Beecher. So all very close, within a handful of miles. So that's 4 hits on Calumet. Couldn't get it over. 5-2, St. Francis has scored the last 3 points. And Simon doing a nice job on the serve. Simon is from Frankfort, Illinois. That's a long way. No, that's actually quite close as well. Cadence Woodrich went a little too far over the net. So a point for Calumet. Woodrich got a little overzealous. It's a 2-point game. We're very early in this second set, but so far, Calumet acquitting themselves a little bit better than they did in the first one when they fell behind big early and never recovered. An attacking error from Emma Rodriguez makes it just a 1-point game. Rodriguez had 1 kill in the opening set. Morris. Received by Calumet, blocked by the Saints. And Katie Davison is called for the miss hit. Davison did not play in game number 1. Freshman from Valparaiso getting some action here in the second. Had a good play at the net earlier on that rally, but she closes it out with the double hit. It's a low set. The Crimson Wave are still able to get it over. Alyssa Teskey closes out the rally with a big hit. A kill for Teskey, her second today. Saints lead is back up to 3. Serve goes to Masana. Davison out of bounds. Too hard on the strike from Davison. The Saints are doubling up the Crimson Wave. And Calumet calls a timeout. 8-4 is our score. Slower start to this one for St. Francis compared to their blitz of the first set, but it has turned in their favor pretty quickly. And with the fear of the Saints pulling away, Calumet stops the game to talk things over. Calumet beat Mountain Mary earlier this year. That was back in early October. Their only conference win. They have not won a set in conference play since then. They did win a few earlier in the year, though. They've taken some steps in a positive direction this year, but they have faded down the stretch. They're really struggling of late. And part of that, I think, has to do with their schedule. Over the last 3 weeks, they've played some of the top teams in the conference, and they haven't gotten the results that they've wanted as a result of that fact. Trailing big today, 15-point final in set one, and the Saints are off to a good start here in set two. They've scored 3 points in a row, trying to make it 4 in a row out of the timeout. Set up for Keel, wafts it to the back line, and Ann Simon. Teskey tries to finish out another one, but this time the Crimson Wave defense was ready to go. Masana for Woodrich. That's into the net. Attacking error on Cadence Woodrich gives the point to Calumet. They're within 3. The serve belongs to Davison. And it's too hard. Her serve goes out of bounds. 9-5. Serving continues to be problem number 1 for the Crimson Wave. They've had other problems as well. They've got a lot of attacking errors, hitting below 0% so far today, but you're not going to win too many games if you can't sustain a serve. That was a nice hit, but well defended by Celeste Zavala. Vandemelen sends it out of bounds. Ten to 5. Zavala for Hungate, and Hungate hits it into the antenna. That's out of bounds. Six serving 10. Serve belongs to Berta Camino Cuseto. Teskey from her knees. Nice play by Cuseto. Chance for Hungate, and Riley Hungate finishes it off. Beautiful hit. Saints lead is back to 5. The senior Willow Mueller comes back in to serve. 4-year player at St. Francis. Has not seen a ton of time on the court, but honored on senior day today. She's gotten a good run as a server. Out of bounds on the strike from Calumet. The Saints again are doubling up the Crimson Wave. They're kind of trading 1 point for 2 right now. As Calumet calls their final timeout of the second set. So we're early. Saints have not even reached the halfway point. We're already getting the final timeout for Calumet, so they're out of them the rest of the way here. St. Francis looking to pick up consecutive win number 3 to improve their record to 13-3 in conference. Viterbo has already clinched the regular season conference title. The Saints haven't seen Viterbo. They will on Tuesday, first match of the season between the teams, potentially not the last, depending on how the conference tournament goes. as it stands right now, if they were to play each other in the conference tournament, it would be in the championship. In fact, it would have to be in the championship because the Saints are going to get either the second or the third seed in the conference tournament. It's between St. Francis and St. Xavier right now for second place. Viterbo, as I said, has locked up the number 1 spot. Trinity Christian pretty well entrenched at number 4 right now, although not necessarily. If they lose a few, there are still a handful of teams behind them in the standings with 7 losses. The Saints know it'll be either the second or the third seed for them. So if they were to win their first round match, they'll be playing St. Xavier in round 2, and then the question would be, where? Willow Mueller serves. Left out there for Calumet, and they just weren't able to take advantage. Point to St. Francis. Regina Manzone-Carrito had the ball drift right to her, and she mistimed her jump. So instead of being able to spike it, she just kind of tapped it over, or tried to tap it over, stayed on her side, and ultimately Calumet couldn't get it across. Hungate has a kill. St. Francis is pulling away here. Calumet kept this one tight early on, but the Fighting Saints have scored 4 consecutive points and now have opened up a big lead. That looked like maybe it was going out of bounds. Haynes didn't want to risk it. So they play the ball, and now the Saints get it over with the bump from Celeste Zavala. Good, strong hit by Carrito to finish off that volley. Carrito has a kill. 14-7. Well, like I said, the Saints keep seeming to trade 2 points for 1. They've been doubling up Calumet at 8-4, 10-5, 12-6, now 14-7. Good dig by Haynes. Keel, played by Mueller. And Hungate is able to get it over to the back line. Vandemelen gets it right past Willow Mueller. Nice hit from her. 2 in a row for Cal St. Joe's. Calumet showing some life midway through this second set. See if the Saints can stifle it. Teskey strikes it out of bounds. That was not deflected. So it's an attacking error on Teskey. And the Crimson Wave have their best run of the day. 3 straight points for them. Out of bounds on the serve. That's how most of the runs have ended. Whether 1, 2, or 3 points in a row. They typically wrap up with a serve out of bounds. Their 8th service error of the match. Punched up into the air, but the Saints are out of sorts, and the Crimson Wave will take the point. They're back within 5. Here's the libero Melina Haynes on the serve. Kirstein is blocked. Good block by Carrito. Elia Morris is blocked right at the net. It was Davison who blocked it for Calumet. And then the Crimson Wave will take the point on a positional error on St. Francis. It's just a 4-point game. A 5-1 run for the Crimson Wave. Make it 5-2. Malaya Morris slices one across the court. Morris has a kill for the Fighting Saints. First of the day for her. Freshman from Plainfield Central High School. Davison taps it. Played by Landry Hall of the Saints. A block from Quirito. Regina Manzone Quirito. Essence Keel's up at the net as well. Still a close one here, 16-12. Good defense from the Crimson Wave as they pick up their first block of the day. In fact, the first block of the day. I don't think St. Francis has one yet. Miscommunication from the Fighting Saints. Mueller is able to get it over, but out of bounds. Saints didn't defend particularly well right there, and it put them in a position where they didn't have a chance to make an offensive play. Their lead, which was 8, is down to 3. Cusetto played on the other end by Rodriguez. Kirstein out of bounds on the attack. Another point for Calumet. Their run is 8-2. And they have put themselves in a position to try to win this second set. Mueller hits it over. Set up by Lopez for Keel. Blocked to the back line. It stays in bounds. Calumet tries it again. Cusetto out of bounds. Just a little bit off the mark as Calumet tried to make it a 9-2 run and a 1-point game. The attack was out, and so St. Francis's lead is up to 3. Still keeping their distance. Hall sets up Olivia Cosgrove. It is played back the other way by Davison, and nobody there to play off the block. So it is blocked by the Fighting Saints. And they have regained control of this one. Malaya Morris gets credit for her first block. Second solo block of the year for her. 7th overall. Keel, diving play made by Hall. The Saints get it over. Cusetto finds the corner, and she picks up a kill. Slow start for Berta Camino Cusetto today. Averaging better than 3 kills per set on the season. She's trying to find her rhythm in this one. She's now got 4 kills for the match. 4 errors on attacks as well. That's out of bounds on the serve from Tegan Rath. I said it a lot during the first set. The serving was a problem for them, but the fact is they were outplayed in every which way in the first set. Never really stood a chance. This one has been very tight. Evenly matched except for the fact that Calumet has given away so many points on serves. 4 service errors, and that's the difference right now. Set by Masana for Rodriguez. Anima Rodriguez finishes it off. Andrea Matias tried to make the play, but couldn't. Saints lead is up to 5. Serve coming from Masana. Hall gets it down. That's a kill for the junior Landry Hall. Just her 5th of the season. Hall getting some playing time this afternoon and putting her team ahead by 6. Cosgrove tries this time, and it got the line. Just barely found that back line. The Crimson Wave players back there didn't think so. But the call goes St. Francis's way, 22-15. And they are on the cusp of taking a 2-0 lead. The officials will talk it over. Berta Camino Cuseto came over and asked for a little more deliberation. The Crimson Wave thought that landed out of bounds, the attack from Cosgrove. The line judge was right on top of it. He said it did get the line. And after talking it over, the officials decided that that's the call they're going to stick with. Now Landry Hall wants to talk it over because they've wiped it out. They decided to replay the point initially. So it's 21-15. Cosgrove on the attack, tried to get it inside the line. The line judge initially said inbounds. They talked it over, and there was a dispute, and decided to replay. So now the officials and the line judge all get together for a second time. Well, this is the first time the line judge has been involved. And they have decided to go back to the original call. So originally, it was inbounds. They talked it over, gave the old double thumbs up. We didn't see it well enough, play it again. And they talked it over again and called it a point for St. Francis. 22-15. And Talia Masana gets to serve again after Calumet talks it over one more time. Landry Hall goes over as well as Camino Cuseto has her second conversation with the official. This is the most drawn-out in or out call I think I've ever seen. Either it got the line or it didn't. But the call was inbounds, and it's not going to be changed a second time. That's a double hit on Davison. No controversy on this point. It is 23-15 St. Francis. Kept alive, and it is hit over by Haynes. Rodriguez, diving play by Haynes. And hit out of bounds by Andrea Matias. Set point for the Fighting Saints. Tipped at the net by the Saints, and Masana makes a diving effort. Can't keep it in the air, so Calumet stays alive for at least one more point. 16 serving 24. Second set point for St. Francis. Davison launches it to the back line, and Simon. Cosgrove tried to finish it. Set was a little bit low. Out of bounds on the attack from Calumet. And that's the final point for St. Francis in game two. 25-16 is our final score. The Saints make it a 2-0 lead, and they are 25 points away from wrapping up their third consecutive victory. I'll take a timeout for a few minutes. Back shortly with set number 3. Saints have a commanding 2-0 lead. No scores. We get set to start set number 3. St. Francis leads it 2-0. They won the opener 25-10. Calumet St. Joe's put up a little bit more of a fight in set 2. 25-16 was our score. Riley Hungate is the match leader right now with 7 kills, a .385 hitting percentage. Overall, Saints have 17 kills, hitting at .094. Calumet has 11 kills as a team, minus 129 is their percentage. Berta Camino Cuseto leads the team with 4 kills. She does, though, have 5 attacking errors. Assist leaders, Talia Masana with 8, 7 for Crystal Lopez of Calumet. Saints have more than the Crimson Wave do, 17-10 overall. 33 digs to 21 in favor of the home team. Maya Broadway leads the team with 8. Tegan Rath and Andrea Matias each have 8 for Calumet. And there's a block for St. Francis to start game number 3. Delaney Kirstein, Riley Hungate at the net. It's the third block of the match for the Fighting Saints. Calumet has just 1. Essence Keel slips it just past a diving Willow Mueller in the back corner. Nice hit from Keel. That ties the score at 1. Second straight set in which Calumet has been able to tie the score after St. Francis point. Crimson Wave still have not led at any point, not even 1-0 or 2-1. See if they can change that here. Teskey does not allow them to change it. Alyssa Teskey has her 3rd kill today. 3 kills, 4 assists, 3 digs for the sophomore, Teskey. Calumet did go on one big run in that second game. At one point, they had an 8-2 stretch. That made the score 16-14. But the Fighting Saints outscored them 9-2 the rest of the way. Landry Hall's serve is out of bounds. And we are tied at 2. That's just the second service error of the day for St. Francis, 9 of them for Calumet. And that really cost them in the second game. Morris blocked right back to Mueller. Hungate looking for her 8th kill. Blocked back to her. Driving play by Zavala on the back line. Here's another chance for Hungate. Tipped up into the air. Good rally. To the back line, Willow Mueller. Set up for Hungate. Hungate goes soft. Nice lunging play made by Vandemelen. Another chance for Hungate. Tough angle. Blocked right back to Landry Hall. It's the best rally we've had today. But it ends with a Riley Hungate kill. Just out of the reach of Melina Haynes and just inside the line. 8th kill for Hungate, who now has 1,003 of them in her career. 311 this season. Keel is blocked inbounds. No, it's called out of bounds. And so it will go Calumet's way. We're tied at 3. Third time we've been tied in this one to start things out. Calumet has put up progressively tougher fights from 25-10 to 25-16. Obviously, long way to go in this one, but they're off to a very competitive start. Very competitive when you look past the score and just see how tough these volleys have been. Rodriguez off the hands of Vandemelen and out of bounds. Second kill today for Emma Rodriguez, make that her 3rd. The score is 4-3 St. Francis. They still have not trailed today. And Simon has the serve. That's inbounds, a nice hit. That was Irali Aguilar Martinez. We're tied once again, 4th time. Serve leaves the hand of Vandemelen. Blocked this time by the Saints. Aguilar Martinez was looking for her 2nd straight kill. She can't get it. 5-4 St. Francis. Early in set 3. Simon makes a lunging effort but can't pull it in. That's a kill for Calumet. And they tie it for the 5th time. We're trading points. Berta Camino Cuseto picks up her 1st kill of this 3rd set. 5th of the match. Calumet attack so far has been much more efficient. 4 kills, 2 errors in this 3rd set so far. deflected, out of bounds. A lead for Calumet for the first time today. The Crimson Wave hitting percentage was minus 185 in the first set, minus 093 in the second. So far in the third, it's at 273. So that's not baby steps. That's a huge jump up, and it is showing. They have a 6-5 advantage. Broadway for Rodriguez. Knocked out of bounds by Calumet. That's a point for Emma Rodriguez and a tie score at 6. The senior Celeste Zavala comes back in to serve. Zavala is a 2-year Saint, transferring in from Joliet Junior College, honored before the game today. Teske, good hit. A point for Alyssa Teske. And the Saints are back in the driver's seat with a 1-point lead. Soft hit, and it's knocked down on the Calumet side. Regina Manzon-Carrito looked like she was gearing up for a big one, and then she just gave it the fingertip tap. And the Saints pushed it right back across. Calumet wasn't prepared. 3 straight points for the Fighting Saints after trailing for the first time. Crucedo hits it too strong. That's out of bounds, her 6th attacking error today. And a timeout called by the Crimson Wave. Well, maybe falling behind for the first time all day. Lit a fire under the Fighting Saints because they have not surrendered a point since then. 4 in a row for St. Francis. And their lead is 9-6 as they look to wrap up their day early today. Trying to make it a straight sweep. It's a busy day of sports for the University of St. Francis. A rare Saturday afternoon contest for the volleyball side. Football is in action at Marian University out in Indiana. Women's basketball is underway. They're in Kentucky early in basketball season. They're playing their 3rd game of the season already, though. They'll be back home on Monday. It's the crossover season. Winter sports are starting. The fall sports are closing up, and so there's a lot going on. Not just here, but all over the college sports scene. Celeste Zavala is going to serve. Her team leading 9-6. Calumet is hoping that their timeout has slowed down the Fighting Saints' momentum. Crucedo steps up from the back line and launches a good one towards the sideline. The Saints can't keep it alive. So the 4-0 run comes to a close. 7 serving 9. Crystal Lopez will do the honors. Knocked into the air by Masana. Zavala is able to get it over. Essence Keel deflected at the net. Good hit, Riley Hungate. Throwing it down with power to make it 10-7. Riley Hungate has been on a roll, not just today, but well, all season she's been good. But she's really put up some good numbers in recent contests. Doing it again today, closing in on double-figure kills. Hungate again. Katie Davison has her first kill today. Make that her 2nd kill today. First in this set. It is 8 serving 10. Serve from Haynes. Teskey to the back line, played by Cusetto. Keel. The Saints are able to return it. Another one for Hungate. So Riley Hungate does find her way into double figures, her 10th kill today for the team leader. Hungate has gotten double digits in now 5 consecutive matches. Delaney Kirstein is blocked. A good block by Regina Manzone-Corrido. Cal St. Joe's is hanging around. They led 6-5. St. Francis went on a run after that, but Calumet's not going down quietly. They are still within 2. Elia Morris goes way too far. That lands on the Calumet sideline. So an attacking error on the Fighting Saints pulls the Crimson Wave to within 1. 10 serving 11. The serve is off the hands of Hungate, and it's an ace. An ace for Matias ties the score at 11, our 7th time that we've been tied in this third set. This has been just about as tight as can be. And Calumet reclaims the lead. Back-to-back serves, the Saints are not able to return. 12-11. Calumet trying to win their first set in a conference match since their lone win back in early October. Good hit by Cusetto, but a nice dig from Celeste Zavala. Morris taps it over the blockers. Hungate's blocked out of bounds. Another point for Riley Hungate. And we are tied for the 8th time. 12 all. Calumet has now led twice in this match, both times by just 1 point. Saved by Broadway. And a couple of Crimson Wave players fell down. Both Keel and Lopez were going after it, and they both slipped. And so no play to be made by the Crimson Wave. The Saints reclaim the lead, 13-12. Halfway there. Nice effort by Hall. Chance for Morris to pick up a point. Diving play by Lopez. The Saints tap it down. Their lead is back to 2, trying to pull away after Calumet has fought back so many times in this third set. Blocked by St. Francis. Nice job by Calumet to get it over, but a free ball for St. Francis, and Kirstein hits it into the net. A little low on that set from Hall, and Kirstein was not able to finish it off. 13 serving 14. The Crimson Wave refused to go away. Every time it feels like the Saints have a chance to push them out of reach, Calumet makes a play, or St. Francis doesn't. Either way. Out of bounds, that's a miss hit from Morris. The attacking error ties the score at 14. It's our 9th tie of this third set. The decisive set if St. Francis can win it. But that is very much in doubt right now. Mueller for Hall. Rodriguez a little too low on the attack, and Calumet has the lead once again. Third time they've led. I just mentioned they have not led by more than 1 point ever. But can that turn around right here? Serve from Tegan Rath as an ace. And they do have a multi-point lead for the first time all day, 16-14. The Crimson Wave are on a roll. They've scored 4 in a row. Rath tries to make it 5 straight. Their serve grazes the net, but the Saints are able to recover. Blocked, right back to Haynes. Vandemelen tries again to the back line, Willow Mueller. Rodriguez is blocked out of bounds. A much needed point for St. Francis. They trail by just 1. Doing the serving is Ann Simon. The libero sends it away. Broadway for Rodriguez. Out of bounds. It landed in, but it didn't take the right angle to get there. So another attacking error on St. Francis. There have been a lot of them in this third set. Both sides hitting it at a 100 or below rate right now. A little bit of ping pong. It lands out of bounds. I don't think Calumet even meant to get that hit over the net. It did. The Saints let it go, and it landed wide of the sideline. Crimson Wave already have more points than they scored in either of the first 2 games. Their lead is 1. Saints are trying to tie the score for the 10th time today. Ready to serve. It's Talia Masana. Broadway sets up Rodriguez. And back the other way, it's Davison. Rodriguez goes too low on her hit. Cal St. Joe's is up by 2. Rodriguez now has 6 kills, but 4 attacking errors. And the Saints misplay it defensively. Cal St. Joe's extends their biggest lead today, 19-16. And for the first time all afternoon, Kara Courier has to call a timeout for St. Francis as Calumet is knocking at the door of a 4th set. Saints need to outscore them 9-4 the rest of the way. It's not undoable. St. Francis dominated early today. The first set was a 15-point victory. And it didn't feel like they were playing their absolute best. Calumet made a bunch of mistakes in that one. They've cut down on those mistakes game by game. I'll give you the updated numbers on their hitting percentage. I mentioned it earlier. First set was -185. Second was -093. So a step up, and they've taken an even bigger step in this one from -185 to -093 all the way up to 088. 8 kills, 5 errors in this set. St. Francis is the same percentage, 088, 10 kills, 7 errors. They've had a lot of good hits, but a lot of errors as well, and that's been the primary reason for points in this third set. Errors on both sides have led to points pretty frequently. So it's just a matter of cleaning things up right now as we're back underway out of the timeout. And the first serve is out of bounds. That's been a big storyline throughout this match. Calumet had 5 service errors in game 1, 4 in game 2. That was their first in the third game. It's not a coincidence that the scores have improved. They've got the 2-point lead still here. That's blocked out of bounds and a kill for Katie Davison. Huge point for Calumet. The Saints got one out of the timeout, but immediately surrender it back the other way. And so the lead is retained at 3. Serve is off from Lopez. There's a set from Lopez for Davison, blocked by the Saints. Nice dig by Haynes. Essence Keel drills one home. Calumet leads by 4. They're smelling that victory. This would be their first victory in any set against a conference opponent in nearly a month. Saints would still be in the lead in the match. That's blocked. Diving play by Zavala keeps it alive. And Teskey gets a much-needed kill for St. Francis. They're down by 3. They led 14-12. It felt at that point like they were getting ready to pull away. And then instead, Calumet went on a 9-3 run. They had an 8-2 run at one point in the last game, and a 9-3 run in this one. The Saints slowed them down dramatically last time around. Can they do it again here? That's not going to help. A good hit from Essence Keel. Just barely got that line. And Cal St. Joe's is back up by 4. This is going to be a huge comeback for the Saints now if they want to win this. Masana for Hungate, and Hungate gets the Saints back on the board. She's been the one to do it all afternoon. 12 kills for Riley Hungate. Coming off a 16-kill match against Governor's State on Thursday. Serve is off from Landry Hall. And a point to St. Francis as that one did not clear the net. So 2 in a row for the Saints. They're still ticking here in the third set. Calumet struggling to put them away late. Saints still need a big comeback. This is a tough play, and it does go St. Francis's way. So that first hit went a little bit too close to the net, and there was no clean way for Calumet to get it over. Timeout called by the Crimson Wave. Their 4-point lead is down to 1. 22-21 is our score. St. Francis needed a big comeback. They needed to outscore Calumet 7-1 to wrap this one up, and they've still got their work in front of them, but they've scored 3 in a row. So now they just need to outscore them 4-1 the rest of this game. We'll see if they can do it coming out of this timeout. Timeouts have been called at good times generally today by Emilio De Jesus. He's used them early. And Calumet has been able to come out of timeouts looking a little bit more efficient at times. So we'll see if they can do that here. They're just 3 away from picking up a victory and sending it to the 4th set. St. Francis trying to pick up their 3rd straight win, trying to make it 8 out of 9 overall, going back to the first week of October. They got off to a fantastic start, that 15-point victory in Game 1. But it has not been so easy ever since. Serve is away from Landry Hall. Lopez sets for Keel. Tipped at the net. Zavala steps up. Here's Hungate. It's blocked, and that's down for a Calumet point. 23-21. Blocks have not been their forte today, but they got a big one right there. That's their 3rd block overall. 2nd one to come in this set. First solo for Essence Keel, but the serve goes out of bounds. Costly mistake from Matias. And the Saints are again within 1. Maya Broadway has the serve for the Fighting Saints. That was deflected by St. Francis on the strike from Camino Cusetto, and it makes it set point for Calumet. It landed out of bounds, but there was just a little tip from the Fighting Saints, and they will get as many as 3 chances to win this one. They'll try to do it on their first attempt. And they do. Off the hands of Willow Mueller, it's down for the point. Calumet wins it 25-22, and we will play a 4th set. I'll take a break for a few minutes, but back with some more stats. And then the start of set number 4 shortly, 25-22, the final score in favor of the visitors. We're getting set to start the 4th set. Saints were in complete control of the first 2, but Calumet was able to beat them 25-22 in set number 3. We'll see if they can keep that momentum. First time in a while that Calumet has won a set. In a conference match, you have to go back to October 9th, the last time they took one. And that was a match they won in 4 against Mount Mary. We're underway in the 4th set, and it's out of bounds on the serve from Camino Cusetto, so 1-0 St. Francis lead. First time they've taken a set from the Fighting Saints since 2021. Saints swept them in Indiana a couple of months ago. Essence Kiel hits it out of bounds. It's 2-0 St. Francis. This is a Calumet team that has won at times this year. They've only won 2 matches overall. But they took some sets earlier in conference play against some good teams. Kept alive, and Cusetta hits it over to the back line. Saints will play it. Kirstein drops it in there. 3-0 Saints. The Crimson Wave took a set from St. Xavier, from Trinity Christian, Indiana Northwest. All of those are CCAC teams with winning records, so it's not like they're not capable of beating you. But all of those were a couple months ago. They had been fading down the stretch, so this is a big one for them. Emma Rodriguez hits it out of bounds to put the Crimson Wave on the board for the first time in this set. 1 serving 3. Set up for Hungate. Riley Hungate has a game-high 12 kills today. That's into the net and a point for St. Francis. So they've opened up this 4th game more similarly to how they opened the first than the second or third. Both of those were nip and tuck early on. The third one stayed nip and tuck the whole way through. But in the first game, St. Francis jumped out to a hot start and never slowed down. They're off to a hot start here. Whether or not they'll slow down, I can't say, but they have a 5-1 lead. Delaney Kirstein will serve again. And that's an ace for Kirstein. It's 6-1. Calumet just has not been able to carry over that momentum from set number 3 when they were on fire. 12 kills, 7 errors in the third set after they had just 11 kills total in the first 2 and 20 errors. Tapped straight down by Woodrich. It's 6-1, St. Francis. Make that 7-1 now. Timeout called by the Crimson Wave. They'll stop to talk things over after a sluggish start to this one. 2 attacking errors, 1 service error. St. Francis does have 2 kills so far. They've got 31 in the match overall. They're hitting 115 as a team. Calumet is at minus 053. Everything worked for them in that last game, though. They were just on fire. Not nearly as many errors as they had made earlier in the game. They were also making a lot more plays. And the Saints didn't have an answer for them. But in this 4th game, the Fighting Saints have come out fired up. They are 18 points away from making it 8 wins in their last 9 matches. And putting a lot of pressure on St. Xavier as the 2 teams battle for the 2nd spot in the conference. They played each other last week. Actually, I guess it was earlier this week, just 4 days ago. But it was a very tight match. Saints came from behind for the win. Out of bounds on the attack from Kiel. Essence Kiel was so good in that third set. 4 kills for her in it. But not able to sneak this one in. 5 straight points for the Saints. Hungates blocked, kept alive. Teskey out of bounds. Cal St. Joe's is back on the board after 5 in a row from St. Francis. 2 serving 8. And Matthias is the server. Maura Babisco, the first one to touch that. First time we've seen Babisco today. And it leads to a St. Francis point. 9-2, and the serve belongs to Alyssa Teskey. To the back line, diving play by Simon, but she can't keep it alive. Nice effort. The point goes to Cal St. Joe's. Tegan Rath goes back to serve. Her serve is played by Malaya Morris. Big hit from Hungate, but a nice dig by Haynes. Cadence Woodrich is right there to clean it up. Woodrich was on top of it. 10-3. Calumet with their backs against the wall played their best volleyball of the day in the third set. Have not been able to match that here in the fourth one as that goes off the arm of Peyton Vandemelen. Out of bounds. 11-3 Fighting Saints. The serve goes out. And on that error, it's a point to Calumet. Hungate hits it in the air. Rodriguez out of bounds to play it, and Simon gets it over. That drifted on Calumet, and Rodriguez was right there to finish it off. Aguilar Martinez got it over the net when she didn't want to, and Rodriguez was lying in wait. Here's Ann Simon's serve. Nice play by Hungate. Can the Saints get it over? Yes, they can. Davison hits it into the net. And a point to St. Francis. Fighting Saints have not slowed down. They scored the first 3 points, and they've kept it rolling as Calumet uses up their final timeout. 13-4 is our score. St. Francis halfway there now as they try to wrap up a 4-set victory over Calumet. They've had to work hard lately. They're looking for their 3rd consecutive victory. None of those have been clean sweeps. The last time they pulled that off in a win was October 14th against Trinity Christian. And that was not an easy one. They beat them 25-22, 25-22, and 25-15. So they've had to extend a little bit. They have not had very many 5-set matches this year. But against Governors State on Thursday, they took the first 2 relatively easily and then fell in the third before wrapping up a 4-set victory, and they're trying to pull off the same thing today. They took the first 2 relatively easily today, fell in the 3rd set, and now are in position to wrap it up in 4. Both teams are back on the floor out of the timeout, and we're ready to play. And Simon has the serve for the Fighting Saints. Diving play by Hungate stepping up. Pushed to the back line by Teskey, but kept alive by Calumet. And that is a point to the Crimson Wave. Kirstein tried to get it at the net unsuccessfully. Out of bounds. Saints lead is 8. Teskey for Kirstein. The Saints keep it alive. Emma Rodriguez finishes it off. Calumet, unlike the last game, just has not been able to string points together in this one. Every time they try to seize some momentum, they've lost the next point. errant set, and the Crimson Wave can't get it over on 3 hits. So a misplay on their end makes the lead double digits for the first time for St. Francis. Talia Masana serves. Nice dig by Masana. Rodriguez. Played on the back line by Cusetto. Saints need to get it over, and they're not able to do it. Urali Aguilar Martinez right there to make the play. Good net presence from Martinez. And we'll see if this time Calumet is able to string a few together. 6 serving 15. Out of bounds. Crystal Lopez has the error on the serve. That's her 3rd today. Number 13 for Calumet as a team. Saints are in the driver's seat here. They need just 9 more points. Davison blocked right back to her and pushed over by Camino Cusetto. Good dig by Haynes. The ball goes up high and stays alive. Cusetto for the kill, inbounds. Or out of bounds, sorry. Just barely out of bounds on the attack. And the Saints lead is up to 11. Keel keeps it alive to Cusetto. Saints have a chance here. Teskey. Diving play made by Crystal Lopez. Essence Keel whacks it out of bounds. St. Francis is just 7 points away. Emma Rodriguez, the freshman, gets the serve. Off the side of Lopez's hands, and nobody can keep it alive for Calumet. That's an ace for Emma Rodriguez, who's got 8 kills today, which is 2nd most on the team. Her first ace, so 9 total points for her. Rodriguez for Teskey. Out of bounds on the attack from Alyssa Teskey. Seven serving 19. And it's Melina Haynes who will do the honors. Hungate to Masana to Teskey. Blocked. Manzone, Carrito, and Vandemelen were at the net, combining on that block. 2 in a row for Calumet, something they have not been able to do in this 4th set. We'll see if they can make it 3 in a row for the first time. They can. That's an ace. An ace for Melina Haynes, 9 serving 19. Masana for Hungate, and Hungate straightens things out again for St. Francis. 13 kills for Riley Hungate to lead everybody in this match. She's made just 3 errors on the attack. She's had a very strong afternoon. And the Saints are within 5. Here's Delaney Kirstein. Low line drive serve. Might have gone out of bounds. Teskey decided to play it. Babisco hits it over. With a chance for Teskey. Played by Essence Keel. Inbounds off the attack from Lopez coming in from the back line. Or sorry, that was Lopez on the assist. Berta Camino Cusetto is the one who made the kill. It's a miss serve from Andrea Matias, number 2 for her today. 21-10. Teskey serves for the Saints. Nice play by Simon on the back. Pushed over by Cadence Woodridge. Pushed into the air, but not enough for Calumet to keep it alive. Good effort by all involved for the Crimson Wave. But it is a St. Francis point. Cusetto in the line. Berta Camino Cusetto has had some really nice hits lately. And she has found herself in double figures now. 10 kills tonight for her. Saints still doubling up the Crimson Wave, 22-11. Got away from Hungate, so Calumet's got an easier chance here, but it is blocked at the net by Woodrich and Morris. Good net presence for the Fighting Saints, 23-11. Riley Hungate's going to try to finish this off on a serve. 2 points away. Hungate sets for Morris. And Vandemelen gets it over off the hands of Morris, out of bounds. Calumet stays alive. St. Francis still 2 points away. Yasmin Jordan is going to come in for the serve. First time that Jordan has made an appearance in this afternoon's match. She serves at a critical moment here. Calumet needing to go on a big run. Saints get it across. Jordan passes to Rath. Davison hits it over, and Teskey plays it on the other side. Pushed over by Rath. Saints are ready for it. It's Hungate. A little miscommunication from Calumet, but they're able to recover and get the kill from Katie Davison. Timeout called by St. Francis. They still have a healthy lead. 23-13 is the score. But Calumet, with their backs up against the wall, has been able to score a few in a row. And so the Saints will talk things over and try to get this sorted out. Calumet took the third set. Final score in that one was 25-22. And then St. Francis bounced back to start this fourth one. They were ready to go. Just dominated it right out of the gate. And they have had a double-digit lead for a while now, but the Crimson Wave are recovering late. Maybe too late, we'll see. It would take a miracle comeback at this point. But they've scored 3 in a row. Actually, make that 2 in a row. It was 23-11. When Riley Hungate went back to serve, trying to close it out. But Calumet won that point, and then they won on their first serve of this sequence as well. Yasmin Jordan will try to win another point right here. Out of bounds on the attack from Malaya Morris. Now it's 3 points in a row. 14 serving 23. Diving play made by Simon to keep it alive. Here's Hungate stepping up from the backside. And that's going to be a violation on Calumet. Matthias made a diving effort and ended up almost completely on St. Francis' side. That sets up match point, 24-14. And Ann Simon can end the game with a good serve right here. Davison, first to touch it for Calumet. She hits it over. Punched into the air by Teskey, and nobody able to reach that one. So Cal St. Joe's staves off elimination at least one more time. Camino Cusetto gets the serve for the Crimson Wave. Teskey for Rodriguez. Up into the rafters, still alive, but they can't get it over, and that'll do it. St. Francis wraps it up. 25-15 is our final score. A 4-set victory over Calumet College of St. Joseph. For St. Francis, 3 straight wins, 8 out of 9 overall. And with 2 matches remaining, they are in control in that fight for the 2nd spot in the CCAC this year. Let's look at some of the final stats in this one. St. Francis finished with 37 kills. Calumet had 30. Saints had an .098 percentage. Calumet's hitting percentage was minus .035. They were below 0 in 3 of the 4 sets. All 3 of their losses, they did win the 3rd set. Saints had 34 assists. Calumet had 28. St. Francis finished with 67 digs to 48 for the Crimson Wave. Serving, Calumet had 5 aces, 14 errors. Saints had 7 aces, 4 errors. One of the big difference makers in this game. St. Francis finished today with 7 blocks. Calumet finished with 5. Individual leaders, Riley Hungate had 13 kills, a .312 hitting percentage today. Emma Rodriguez finished with 8 kills. For Calumet, the leader was Berta Camino Cusetto, who had 10 kills and an .049 percentage. Defensively, Maya Broadway, who did not play in that last set, finished with 11 digs, and Simon finished with 11 as well. The libero for Calumet, Melina Haynes, finished with 17 digs to lead everybody. Crystal Lopez led their team with 16 assists. Talia Masana had 16 assists for St. Francis. So there are your stats for today. Saints take it in 4 sets. Our final scores today, 25-10, 25-16, 22-25, and 25-15. St. Francis takes it in 4. They'll have one more at home. That'll be this coming Thursday as they wrap up the regular season. They play on Tuesday at Viterbo. That's going to do it for this broadcast as St. Francis improves to 13-3 in conference, 17-12 overall. Calumet falls to 2-22, 1-15 in the CCAC, as St. Francis wins it in 4 sets. Until next time, Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Talk to you next time.